Hey guys, it's Chris Carr backstage at Winstock. Welcome to Seattle, Sara Evans.
Yeah, thank you. Is that where we are?
It feels a little more like Seattle than Minnesota. And listen, all I do is make dreams come true with my coworkers. I have a co-host, Marnie Gellner, of the Minnesota Wolves and Minnesota Lynx, who would like to come on and ask you a few questions because she is your biggest fan in Minnesota. So come on in, Marnie.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for the setup.
Hi.
Hey, Fran.
How are you?
So, I'm great. I have been listening to your podcast.
Yes.
It's called Diving in Deep with Sara Evans. And, girl, you do dive in deep.
We do.
And you have been interviewed for 25 years. People out like this have been holding a microphone and asking you questions. And you've told us personal things before, but
Right.
this is a different level.
Yes.
So why does it feel different if you're initiating the conversation and you're sort of steering it versus person asking you?
I grew up in a huge family. I have 6 siblings, and so I love to talk. We sat around the table at my mom's, every meal for hours and just talk. So you learn how to become a great conversationalist with all those siblings. And I love to talk, and I love podcasts. I'm obsessed with podcasts. I like the long form conversation. So I'm planning on standing here with you for about an hour and a half right now.
I had
talking,
only allotted
if that's
2
okay.
hours, so that'll work.
Okay, 2 hours.
The Martina McBride episode, fantastic. But you guys talked about coming up in the industry.
Yes.
I'm about the same age as you are, so that was like right in my wheelhouse.
Yes.
And the details that you can give. I think that stuff is fascinating.
It's so fun, and the one of the greatest ones we had was with Joe Galante, who's the head of RCA Records, who actually signed me. I wanted him to come on and tell me, like, what did you think of me when I walked in the room? What do you remember? And he just laughed, and he was like, I just thought you were confident, and you were, a great singer, blah, blah, blah. But that's a great episode with him because he signed the Judds, Martina, me,
big time.
Everybody.
And on one episode, you just called your brother and you put it on speakerphone,
Yes.
and then he's telling a story about like performing in a nursing home, and you had to pick out a doll, and
Yes.
these things it's just fascinating.
It's just
stuff.
all these behind the scene things. And then Josh Turner was just on, and he was talking about, learning how to be an artist and learning how to take care of, the money aspect of things and not leaving it all up to his business. All the things that we all have to learn and figure out. So it's very interesting. And then, of course, I talk to my daughters as well about, because, I have 3 children, and they're all in the music industry as well. My son Avery is a guitar player, and he's, rising up in the business. And it's totally different these days than it was when I got signed, because it's a lot harder these days.
Yeah, and totally different with social media and
Yes.
TikTok and all of that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so your daughter Olivia is engaged, which means you're
Yes.
wedding planning, and you're going to be mother of the bride.
Yes.
So, like, what are your mother of the bride sort of duties at this point?
My main goal as mother of the bride is to upstage her. And so
Excellent.
I'll be wearing white. I'll be wearing a veil.
Yes.
And I'll probably have someone walk me down the aisle with like
After her.
Yeah, and playing one of my songs. And then I'll probably insist that I sing in her wedding. And then we can spend about 5 minutes getting them married, and then back to me.
Yeah,
that's what it's
a
gonna be.
great plan. I love that. I will look for the invite in the mail. I want to tell you a quick story. You've been my favorite singer for 25 years.
thank
This is
you.
my favorite song, my Suds and Bucket.
Suds in the
I've got this
Bucket.
at SaraEvans.com.
I love it.
When
Thank you.
I got married in 2006, my husband, I did not know this, we came out of the church and he said, stay right there, I'm going to pick you up. He went to the parking lot. He had borrowed his friend's white pickup truck.
No.
And he came to the church and picked me up, and he had burned Suds in the Bucket on a disc, because that's what we did.
That's illegal.
And he played it over and over, and it is to this day, that was 2006, to this day, it's the most romantic thing he's ever done.
Oh,
and I wonder
my
about how
gosh.
you feel about being part of my wedding night.
I feel
Sara.
a little perverted, but that's amazing. What a sweet husband you have.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
He's okay. But
Yeah.
people must tell you stuff all the time. Your song did this to me. Your song affected me. And I've got to believe as an artist that really hits deep. That
It
is
really
no
does.
joke when you are
Well,
influencing
that's
people's lives like that.
The whole reason to do it, because I'm a fan of music as well. So I've been I have felt that way about other artists and other songs, and especially growing up. And, I started singing on stage at 6 years old. And so, Lord, there are so many Reba McEntire songs that, I just, can think of a time. I mean, millions of artists and millions of songs. So, yes, it means the world to me when people tell me stories like that. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I just have one last thing, because I know you have a new album, Unbroke.
Yes.
I find it fascinating that there are 11 songs on there, and you wrote or co-wrote 10 of those.
Yes.
I think the process of writing a song, just one single song, is incredible. Having birthed just 10 of them, again, at 50 plus years old, I just find that motivation, energy, creativity, incredible. How far did you have to dig to come up with that?
I think, it's just songwriting is a part of having the talent of music, you know what I mean? And so it's this kind of the same as going out on stage and singing. It's just another aspect of being an artist. So it's in there. And, but at the same time, I also have the honor of writing with some of the best writers in the world. And so I might bring an idea and then have a full course written or whatever, but then what they add just makes it so much better. But it is, I mean, I have a lot. I've lived a very big life, a dramatic life, lots of good and bad
you
stuff.
got material.
I've got material, so it's all in here just waiting to come out in a song.
Speaking of writing with songwriters, Lady A was in town 2 nights ago. I saw them at an amphitheater. They played.
I know. I was so mad. I was like, let me sing Stronger.
Hillary sang it, and they talked about writing it for you. They gave you full credit, and what a great song that was. And
I'm kidding. I'm great friends with them. They actually helped invite me to become a member of the Opry last summer.
Really?
Yeah. So we're great friends.
Okay.
But Josh Turner.
There was no
I'm
animosity.
kidding.
But you said you wrote with great songwriters, and I was like, I just saw a
Yes.
concert. They sang your song, or you sang their song. I don't know.
I sang her song. She co-wrote that song with Hillary Lindsay and Luke Laird, and then pitched it to me. And then it was meant to be my song.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so no, I love those guys. But Josh Turner texted me and he said, Lady A is singing your song right now. And I was like, that's so rude. No. I love them. I love them.
The same, but I just didn't want to bug you, so I didn't want to text you from the show.
Yeah, text me anytime.
Okay.
I'm bored. I have nothing to do.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing this, and thank you for bringing joy through music to my life personally for 20 plus years.
Thank you. You are so kind. Thank you so much.
Well,
I really appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank you.
I am available for lunch and coffee going forward.
Okay. And the podcast maybe.
And the podcast. That's fine. I'm busy, but fine. That's
okay.
fine. Ladies and gentlemen, my best friend, Sara Evans.